Back in November 2025, EASA dropped Airworthiness Directive 25-174, and it's a big one for certain Airbus A330s. Now, this isn't just another piece of paper. It tackles a pretty significant flight safety risk. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what you need to know and what you need to do.
And EASA gets right to the heart of it, no messing around. The directive warns of a potential total loss of control of radio communications. Just think about that for a second. For a flight crew, that's your worst-case scenario. Losing contact with the ground, losing your transponder, a critical cascading failure in the cockpit.
So what's really behind this serious risk? Let's dive into the technical nuts and bolts of what's going wrong. It all kicks off with something that sounds small, a data sync issue between the radio management panels, the RMPs, and the audio management unit, the AMU. But on an airplane this complex, that's no simple glitch. It can actually set off a domino effect, causing things like uncommanded changes to the transponder and TCAS, and it can even knock all the navigation displays into standby. It basically creates a totally unpredictable situation for the pilots right when they need stability the most.
Okay, so which exact aircraft are we talking about here? The scope of this AD is actually very, very specific.
This directive is aimed squarely at the A330-941 model, but only within a very particular range of manufacturer serial numbers. So if you're operating this model, it is absolutely essential that you take this list and check it against your fleet records to see if you're affected.
All right, let's talk about what needs to be done. EASA has laid out a two-phase plan, and it all starts with some immediate actions designed to contain the risk right now.
And they're not kidding around with the timeline. We're talking within just 7 days of the AD's effective date. Operators have to amend their aircraft flight manual using a specific Airbus bulletin. At the same time, you've got to amend your minimum equipment list, your MEL. And, maybe most importantly, you have to get this information out to all your flight crews immediately so they know the new procedures.
But listen, those manual and MEL changes are really just a temporary shield. Phase 2 is where we get to the permanent fix, the engineering solution that puts this problem to bed for good.
So the permanent solution involves modifying the jet's communication system. You'll need to follow Airbus Service Bulletin A330-23-3514, which walks you through installing Airbus mod 211444. You've got 12 months from the AD's effective date to get this done. The good news? Once that modification is installed, those temporary AFM and MEL amendments can go away. The issue is fully resolved.
We've dug into the technical side. But what does all of this mean for the business? Let's switch gears and look at the operational and commercial impact.
Flying with those interim MEL restrictions has real consequences. It can mess with your dispatch reliability, maybe even your route planning. This isn't just a compliance checkbox. Every single day an aircraft is flying with those constraints is another day of added operational risk and complexity. Getting that final modification done is what gets you back to full operational capability and gets rid of those headaches.
So you'll hear this term, terminating action. What does it actually mean? Well, think of it as the final word. It's not a workaround or a temporary inspection you have to do over and over. It is the permanent engineering fix that gets to the root cause of the problem, and it closes the book on this risk entirely.
Now, achieving full compliance isn't just one team's responsibility. This really requires a synchronized effort from pretty much everyone across the organization. And that really brings us to the million-dollar question for every single affected operator. Is your compliance plan actually in place? Are those immediate actions scheduled? And do you have a clear roadmap for getting that permanent modification done within the 12-month window? So, to wrap it all up, complying with AD 25174 is mandatory, and the clock is ticking. Success here really depends on tight coordination between your camo, your maintenance teams, and your commercial folks. And for all the official nitty-gritty details, always go back to the source, the official AD and that Airbus Service Bulletin. Your fleet safety and your operational integrity are counting on it.